For me to take care of myself, I like to dance a lot. That's kind of a release that I have. I'll talk to my family or go hang out with friends.
What I do for self-care is I like to go to the gym. I try and go every day before work. It doesn't always happen in the mornings, but it's really important for me to go to the gym when I start my day out with a good workout. Then I have more energy, I am more positive, and I can just have a better day. I feel so much better throughout the day if I just take even just like 20 minutes in the morning and work out.
Journal writing is something that I like to do, but also I love just getting outside. My favorite place to be is outside, and so I try and take time to get out, especially on the weekends, and go for hikes, go for walks, get to do things outdoors to clear my head and get away from a lot of the noise that the week kind of brings.
My favorite version of self-care is usually retail therapy, and I like to go, not necessarily splurge, but I just like to go to the mall and just go get a few things.
My favorite thing to do for self-care is to go on walks. I commute every day, so I drive an hour to work and an hour home. So as soon as I get home, I just put my phone away and I go on a walk around the neighborhood, and not to be distracted by anything on my phone or anything that I've been worrying about all day, to just let my mind just wander and just have time to focus on myself.
Something that I do to give myself self-care is give myself grace. I feel like we're in a world that everything is so perfect, and by giving myself grace, I accept my imperfections but work on getting better. So yeah.
So what I do for self-care is, I'm a teacher, so I like to just kind of like sit down in my classroom after a really stressful day, where I'll go get so delicious. Sometimes if it's a really stressful time, like I'll call my friends and just kind of vent a little bit. Being vulnerable with them and having them show compassion towards me really helps me feel cared for.
My favorite way to self-care is I read this poem that was given to my mom by her therapist, and I read it to myself whenever I'm feeling down, or I try to read it to myself every morning if I have the time. But it just basically just says like who you are, and it's just like repeating this thing to yourself, and really boosts my confidence whenever I'm feeling down.
I really like to cook, so like self-care for me is making food and making good food and then eating it.
My version of self-care involves no people, just me time. It's different. Sometimes I go to Target by myself and I put headphones in so it looks like I'm on the phone with someone, but I'm just walking around listening to a podcast, and I will walk around with an empty cart so it looks like I'm doing something. I'm not. I'm taking care of myself.
My favorite thing that I do for self-care is yoga. It's a time when it's just like for me to feel good, both in mind and like body, and I can just like relax, and I always feel really good after and have great energy.
I'm trying to accept my hair, so now I'm trying to take care of my curls and like stop straightening my hair all the time and just take care of my hair like my natural.
For self-care, I like to clean my room when I'm feeling stressed out or overwhelmed. I like to take the time to just pause what I'm doing and clean up my room, because once it's clean, I feel better because my room is less cluttered, so I am less cluttered.
My favorite way to care for myself is going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, putting on a podcast, and sitting in my car and eating fries. It's just like my me time. I don't have to think about anyone else. I'm in my car alone. I can listen to whatever I want to. My other favorite way is actually cooking, because I'm not thinking about anything else but that. So it really just gets me like out of my head and out of thinking about like whatever is going on in my daily life.
Something that I love doing for self-care for myself is just simply going on walks, and I try and do it as often as I can. Sometimes it's every day, sometimes it's just once a week, but I make sure that I'm by myself, that I'm unplugged, no phone, no music, and I feel like just being alone for that time outside really gives me the chance to just rejuvenate and just focus on myself